800 years ago, the son of the Ming Emperor, Zhang Ruochen, was killed by his fiancée, Empress Chi Yao. The genius of a generation fell like that. 800 years later, Zhang Ruochen was resurrected and discovered that his fiancée, who had killed him, had unified Kunlun World, opened the first Central Empire, and was called Empress Chi Yao. Empress Chi Yao ruled the world, had power in all directions, eternal youth, immortal. Zhang Ruochen stood outside the Emperors Ancestral Temple, looking at the statue of Empress Chi Yao. His heart was filled with fierce hatred. Wait for me to restore it for 13 years? How dare you call me the Empress of the Yellow Springs? Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Episode 1. 800 years later. Chi Yao, I have sincere feelings for you. Why do you want to kill me? Zhang Ruochen shouted loudly, thinking of pouncing forward, pressing the gold-plated bed. Creak, a sound. Suddenly sat up. Discovering that it was just a dream, Zhang Ruochen let out a long breath, using his sleeve to wipe the sweat on his forehead. No, this is not a dream. Everything he and Princess Chi Yao happened, how could it be a dream? Zhang Ruochen was originally Kunlun Realm's 9 great emperors, one of the Ming Emperor only son. At the age of nearly 16, he used his heaven-defying physique to cultivate to the great perfection of the heavenly extreme realm. However, right when he became Kunlun Realm's first generation of young people, he died in the hands of his childhood sweetheart and fiancée Princess Chi Yao. Princess Chi Yao is one of the 9 great emperors' Tandai daughters. Ming Emperor and Qing Emperor are the best bosom friends. Zhang Ruochen and Princess Chi Yao are even more blessed by marriage, since childhood grew up together, cultivated together. A dignified posture, a peerless beauty, can be called Golden Boy and Jade Girl. At first can become a legend of the cultivation world. Zhang Ruochen never expected, Princess Chi Yao actually attacked him. After dying in Princess Chi Yao's hands, when Zhang Ruochen woke up again, he found himself 800 years later. Once Princess Chi Yao pacified the 9 Emperors' rebellion, unified the 9 kingdoms, established the first Central Empire, became the entire Kunlun Realm's ruler, Queen Chi Yao. 800 years ago, reigned over Kunlun Realm's 9 emperors, completely became the past, disappeared in the long river of history. 9 emperors died. Queen was in power. In this era, there is only one emperor. That is Queen Chi Yao, ruling the world. Her power is in all directions. Why do you want to kill me? How can your heart be so evil? Or is it that women's hearts are all so evil? Zhang Ruochen's eyes were sharp. His heart sank like iron, full of doubts. But no one could help him answer. 800 years passed. The sea had long since changed. The scene remained and the people were gone. Except for the peerless cultivation of Empress Chi Yao, her youth was still the same. Immortal. Those old friends all had turned into yellow sand, turned into white bones. Even the majestic and powerful 9 emperors of that year had all disappeared from the human world, leaving only fragments for posterity to continue to recite the glorious stories. Type here to search Ket Ket. A delicate body palace-dressed beautiful woman from outside pushed the door open and walked in, looking at Zhang Ruochen sitting on the bed, carrying a kind gaze. Chenner, did you see a nightmare again? In front of this beautiful woman was Yunwu County's princess consort, also Zhang Ruochen's mother, Lin Fei. This one-body original owner, because of weak person, many diseases. 3 days ago, sick, died on the bed. Zhang Ruochen was killed by Princess Chi Yao after, once again woke up. Immediately appeared in this one body inside. Let the original sick dead teenager revived. What's more coincidental is, this one-body original owner, also called Zhang Ruochen. Zhang Ruochen just woke up, still very reject Lin Fei. After all, in Zhang Ruochen's eyes, Lin Fei is just a stranger. But after 3 days of contact, Zhang Ruochen gradually discovered Lin Fei really cares about him. Simple and careful, saw Zhang Ruochen make nightmare was awakened. Even more not care about the cold winter, immediately ran to Zhang Ruochen's room. In the previous life, Zhang Ruochen never saw his birth mother. It is said, at the time he was born, she immediately left. Unexpectedly, after being killed by Princess Chi Yao, reborn in this body, unexpectedly let him have another mother. Feel the warm mother's love. Perhaps she still doesn't know Chenner, and 3 days ago, died of illness. If was to tell her the truth, she might not be able to bear this bad news blow. Zhang Ruochen looked at this beautiful woman in front of him. His eyes became gentle, smiled. Mother, don't worry about me. It's just a dream. Lin Fei, thin body, tossed up a crimson, even mink fur hat. Sat at Zhang Ruochen's bedside, stroked Zhang Ruochen's forehead, worriedly said, "For 3 days at night, you always wake up from nightmares, every time calling Chi Yao the name. Who is she?" Lin Fei naturally couldn't associate Chi Yao this name with the first Central Empire queen. Moreover, after Empress Chi Yao unified Kunlun World and established the First Central Empire, no one dared to mention the two words, Great Might, Great Virtue, Holy Queen, normally. It would be taboo. Zhang Ruochen said, "It's nothing, Mother. You heard wrong." Lin Fei sighed and said, "In the future, you absolutely should not call the two words Chi Yao directly, even in your dreams. This is the Empress's secular name. Calling the Empress's secular name directly is a great disrespect. Once someone with malicious intentions hears it, they will be executed." Zhang Ruochen nodded, tightly pinched his fingers, and said with some hidden meaning, "Absolutely not. In the future? In the future, I am her nightmare." Lin Fei looked at the thin figure, pale complexion Zhang Ruochen, gently sighed in his heart extremely sour. Although born in the county king's house, but he was weak and sick since childhood, already 16 years old, still can only lie on the bed for a long time. I'm afraid this life can only be like this. Outside, a series of shabby footsteps sounded. "What are you guys playing? This place is Jade Crocodile Palace. Who gave you the guts? Dare to rush in?" A beautiful appearance maid wanted to stop the 8th prince from rushing in, but was gently pushed by the 8th prince, thrown more than 10 meters outside. 8th prince, the son was a martial artist. Cultivation reached the late stage of the Yellow Extreme realm. A palm strike was enough to send a 300 caddies stone table flying 10 jang away, let alone just 100 caddies or so weight maid. A finger flick can send her flying out. That maidservant screamed miserably, heavily fell to the ground, her left arm was broken. The 8th prince wore a golden thread robe, a jade tree wrapped around his back. His body was strong, his arms were slender, his steps were steady. He walked into the Jade Crocodile Palace, quietly stared at that maidservant for a moment. The servant also dares to block this prince's path, really wants to die. The story is copied from metriencv.com and covered by Mr. Thin Audio Story Channel. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the next episodes. The 8th prince behind, followed by 6 people wearing scale armor and leather armor guards. Tall body, tiger back, bare shoulder. Obviously all are powerful martial arts cultivators, belonging to the Imperial Palace Guards. Lin Fei heard the movement outside, calmed Zhang Ruochen's emotions, and closed the door. Went out. She stared at the 8th prince standing outside, slightly frowned, said, "8th Prince Highness, this place is Jade Crocodile Palace. Even if you are a prince, you can't go around." 8th. Prince Zhang Ji raised his head and stared at Lin Fei, raising his voice and saying, "The Queen has ordered that Empress Lin Fei and 9th Brother's bedchamber be moved to Zidi Tiandian. The future owner of Yusao Palace is this prince's biological mother, Xiaofei Empress." Lin Fei's expression changed slightly. She had long expected that this day would come, but she did not expect it to come so quickly. Lin Fei laughed sorrowfully, saying, "The Queen wants to chase us mother and son away from Yusao Palace so quickly? Good. Tomorrow I will move to Tiandian with Chener." 8th Prince said, "I'm sorry. Mother said that she will move into Yusao Palace tonight. Please Lin Fei Nyang Nyang now move to the Heavenly Palace." Lin Fei knows that Zhang Ruochen is weak and sick, can't stand the torture. With a bit of pleading tone said, "8th Prince Highness, you also know that 9th Brother is weak and sick. The night is late. The weather is cold in case." 8th Prince sneered. Not the slightest bit polite, said, "Lin Fei Nyang Nyang Nyang, on this demand there are many pitiful people, but not everyone is worthy of being pitiful. Of course 9th Brother is weak and sick. What is the point of living in this world? He is your 9th brother." Lin Fei still wanted to say something. Suddenly, the door behind was pushed open. Zhang Ruochen's body was weak, using his hand to support the doorpost to barely stand straight, staring at the 8th prince not far away. He looked like his body was weak and windless, as if it contained an unyielding will, saying, "No need to ask them. We will move now." "Chener, why did you get out of bed? The weather outside is cold. Why don't you come back quickly?" Lin Fei immediately hurriedly stepped forward to support Zhang Ruochen, afraid that he would catch a cold. Zhang Ruochen stubbornly shook his head, saying, "Mother, we don't need to ask anyone. Sooner or later there will be a day. We will return here again." Lin Fei looked at Zhang Ruochen's determined eyes, seemingly also infected by his emotions. Tears swirling around, lightly nodded. Lin Fei and Zhang Ruochen joined together, step by step walking out of Yushu Palace, except for that one who was pushed away by the 8th prince with a palm and threw away a broken arm maid. Other than those servants, all of them did not follow them to leave Yushu Palace. Everyone could see that Lin Fei and the 9th prince had completely lost their power. In the county prince's mansion, it was difficult for them to have a place to live peacefully. At first, they were Yushu Palace servants. Now, naturally, they wisely chose to stay in Yushu Palace. All of them went to flatter the 8th prince, this new master. Z Heavenly Palace, usually the place where the unfavored princess lived, was very deserted, full of fallen leaves, as if there had been no one there for a long time. The night was deep. The cold wind was desolate. Sitting on the ice-cold stone bench, Zhang Ruochen's thin body wrapped a coat, but still felt the cold. This flesh body is too weak. Only by cultivating martial Dao can the body gradually become stronger. Otherwise, even if I am now the son of a county king, I can still only be arranged by others. Zhang Ruochen secretly thought in his heart. 800 years have passed. Zhang Ruochen also does not know where he can go now. Of course, the heavens arranged for him to be reborn in this body, no matter for the future to avenge Queen Chi Yao, or for that person who carefully took care of his biological mother, he must definitely become stronger. Today, the humiliation and indifference he encountered were all because he was too weak, unable to resist, unable to control his own fate. Even his own residence was forcibly occupied by others. Want to gain the respect of others, want to gain a warm, comfortable, and pleasant living environment, must become a martial artist, prove his ability. In Kunlun Realm, if one wants to become a martial artist, one must first open the Divine Martial Seal. The so-called Divine Martial Seal is the qualification given by the gods to humans to cultivate martial Dao. Without opening the Divine Martial Seal, one will never be able to cultivate true Qi, and will have no way to become a strong person between heaven and earth. Zhang Ruochen is already 16 years old, and still has not opened the Divine Martial Seal. After 16 years old, one will miss the best age to cultivate martial arts, and even if one opens the Divine Martial Seal, one will not be able to achieve much. They are all sons of Yunwu County Prince, so why is the 8th prince so talented? Can he chase Zhang Ruochen and Lin Fei out of the Jade Crocodile Palace? It is also because the 8th prince opened the Divine Martial Seal at the age of 10, and is now a young martial artist at the late stage of the Yellow Pole Realm. As long as you let me open the Divine Martial Seal, I can cultivate the 9 Heavens Dark Emperor Scripture. With the mystery of the 9 Heavens Dark Emperor Scripture, even if I miss the best cultivation years, I can still catch up with other geniuses and become a martial Dao expert once again. 9 Heavens Dark Emperor Scripture is the supreme cultivation manual of the Dark Emperor. Other than the Dark Emperor, only Zhang Ruochen knows the complete cultivation method of the 9 Heavens Dark Emperor Scripture. Tomorrow will be the great sacrificial ceremony. I hope to obtain the approval of the gods and open the Divine Martial Seal. Zhang Ruochen clenched his fists tightly and was filled with longing for opening the Divine Martial Seal. Lin Fei tidied up the room after that, and then came to support Zhang Ruochen. Chenner, you should quickly rest early. Tomorrow you still have to go to participate in the great sacrificial ceremony. Mother, rest assured, I can definitely open the Divine Martial Seal tomorrow. Zhang Ruochen said. Yes. Mother believes in you. Lin Fei looked deeply at Zhang Ruochen for a moment and sighed softly in her heart. In fact, she did not have any hope for Zhang Ruochen opening the Divine Martial Seal at all. After all, Zhang Ruochen was already 16 years old. You have finished listening to episode 1. Please like the video if you find it interesting, and remember to subscribe to the channel to watch the next episode. Thank you for listening to the whole video.